Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the British Tier 7 Premium Medium Tank, the Banshee Comet. Now this is a fairly old premium tank now actually, it's been out for a very long time. It's basically the Comet, but I believe it's slightly better in some of its stats, but it's more like the soft stats that are slightly better. No, I can't remember which ones are slightly better, but it is basically the same tank, but just ever so slightly better soft stats. And, you know, the Comet's the Comet. It can be a pretty damn little fun medium tank. It's got a little pokey gun that fires pretty quickly. It's got good camo. It's got pretty good view range. It's just an upgrade of the Tier 6 Comet. And, you know, like I say, the 12 degrees of gun depression this tank gets as well is utterly fabulous. It's a fun little premium tank. It's a fun little tank in general, the Comet, when you get to Tier 7. And let's see, you can have quite a bit of fun with it. It has some drawbacks. The shell velocity isn't the best. The penetration does let it down a little bit when you get bottom tier. But it's old faithful, right? You can have a lot of fun with it. So in terms of a crew, on the Comet, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Run and Gun, Steady Aim, Trap Mechanic, Camouflage Expertise, and Muffled Shot. Now, I run the camouflage perks because, like I said, this tank is stealthy. Having more camo with camouflage expertise and muffled shot is always delightful. And then the two gun perks like run and gun and steady aim to make your gun better is always nice. Now, I did run on equipment. I ran Armour, camo net and optics for a long while. Camo net again because this tank is really stealthy, and if you could poke ridge lines at a decent distance, stay unspotted, and keep firing this gun over and over again, you could have a great time. But the gun started trolling me a lot, and my default is if I start to get annoyed with the gun and it keeps missing a lot, then I will naturally go back to just running vert stabs. And that's what I've ended up doing. I've run rammer, vert stabs, and optics. Like I say, it's always the best thing to do is play the tank for a little while with a different piece of equipment, different style to how you normally would, and then if it's letting you down in terms of the gun and you're really getting irritated with the gun, just go and put vert stabs on and have a better time. That's if the tank can obviously fit vert stabs. It's the same with aim time. If the aim time really is peeing you off, just go put GLD on and try and have a better aim time. It's the best thing to do. So in this first game, we're on Sand River. We're platooned up with Turkey, which, yes, the wild turkey is in this game. This is, so you can tell this is, you know, from a decent while ago. Spoken to Turkey fairly recently. He's doing alright. He's off climbing mountains for those that care. And yeah, we're going to have a good time. So you can see here, this is where the Comet is pretty damn solid. We're on a ridgeline. We're using 12 degrees of gun depression, which is the key strength of this tank. And we just keep poking backwards and forwards on the ridgeline to keep the shots raining in. Now we get a shot into the Dreadnought on the move, but we're going to move up onto this Tiger 2. We load the premium rounds because we're not going to pen the Tiger 2 with standard. And we're hopefully going to get rid of this menace that's in front of us. We're probably going to take a hit. I know this, but if I can take a hit to get rid of this guy who was the last tank on my flank, I'm going to do it. We go back to the 3 remaining standard rounds because I know I can pen the other stuff over there with it, and I want to save the premium till last if I can. At the minute, the game's not looking too good. Or, well, we're down at the minute, but there's this Dreadnought spotted out over there, and 12 degrees of gun depression just ain't quite enough. I just could not get the gun depression there to get that shot on that Dreadnought. I wanted to start farming the Dreadnought because, well, it's a Dreadnought, and if you leave a Dreadnought alive, it's going to Blackpea for like 800 at some stage, and we don't want that. Turkey manages to spot him up because he's in the ramrod, and this is where we're going to try and use our pretty decent DPM to start trashing this guy. But unfortunately, we're bouncing quite a lot. Now, because we fire quickly, I wasn't going to sit there farming this Dreadnought. And that's because he was looking directly at us or in our general vicinity. And I was like, you know what, I don't want to get blind fired by a Dreadnought. That would not be good. But we keep popping some shots in. Like I say, he's just getting out spotted by Turkey, which is great. Turkey knows I'm farming him. Turkey's spotted by the IS, so he's keeping the Dreadnought distracted, and so I can farm him myself, which is great. Turkey's getting assistance, and I'm getting all the damage. And there we go, that's the threat down. We managed to shut down the Dreadnought, which means that we're now free to go take out the IS that was over here. Buggy gets spotted in their base. We tried to RBRT a shot, but we missed by an absolute country mile because, well, yeah, we weren't ever going to hit that. But now we've got this Buggy. He is getting out spotted. And this way camo is really, really useful because we're shooting this guy non-stop without him ever spotting us. We're up to 4k damage with 706 assistance, which is nice. We'll come over the top to try and get the IS, but Turkey manages to kill steal there. Yeah, he really kill stealed that one. And yeah, so we're now moving on. And at the minute, the game is still looking a little, well, we're ahead 5-4, but you know, we're still not looking great at this moment in time. It's still one of those, it's on a knife's edge, right? It could go either way. So what we're going to do is we're going to get up to this ridge line in front of us and see if we can get, again, use the strength of the Comet, get on the ridge line and spot out anything that was in this corner, because it was over here. So we end up spotting the STA-2 black, and it's like, well, hello, Mr. STA-2. Dangerous tank, because it's got great DPM with a pretty decent gun. The thing is, you don't want to tangle with that decent DPM, but we have a good gun and he's got no armour, so we can deal with that. So because we haven't spotted the other guy, it's like, okay, I'm going to pop over, get a shot into this STA while he's running away. We don't get detected, so it's like, oh, we're okay. We'll try and finish off this STA-2. He snaps us in on the move, and then the Brask gets us from over there. Sad times, but Turkey carries us to the end. We finished with the victory, 6 kills, nearly 4.4k damage, and 727 assistance. Nice game for the Banshee Comet. Ace tanker, sniper, high caliber, top gun. Like I say, a pretty damn good game for the Comet with 2.3k base XP. Shame we couldn't survive towards the end of that game, but it is what it is. The STA-2 managed to RBRT us while it was running away, and then we got done by the Brask with the double tap. That's where the Brask is most deadly, right? Because if you catch someone out like that, it's game over very, very quickly. And that's why that tank is so lovely to play. It's the same as any double tapper like the Stone Cold, sorry, or the Brask, or any of the Czech heavies that have recently come out. Because they are deadly. If they catch you out, and by the time they've got the first shot in, you're not going to be able to react to that second shot. And if you can be two-shot, well, that's game over for you, my friend. So we're on the second game, and this one, we're on everyone's favourite map. We're on Sunset Coast. And I made a mistake, okay? That's the best way of putting it. I made a mistake. I wasn't concentrating. And I wasn't concentrating because look at the spawns. We spawned in the bottom left, they spawned in top right. I was acting as if it was normal spawns, so I was actually going to go to E5, but that's never going to work with these spawns because they always get there before you. And luckily, I just managed to duck out in time and survive that opening encounter. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to try and get a different position. So I'm going to try and go through this G-line position, through the JK, or, you know, this sort of little flank over here. So that we can try and flank round. The majority of where their team's probably going to be. I'm just being careful, though, using the bushes, because that Tiger P's up there. He starts to poke over. It's like, well, let's look for his lower plate or his cheeks. But we end up ricocheting off his upper plate. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Because that Tiger P is gatekeeping that position, it's like, okay, you know what? No, not doing that. I'm going to go round the other way. But this IS-3 gets spotted. We're going to take some pot shots. We load the premium. But again, it's just not going to go through an IS-3 at that distance. I don't know why I even bothered taking those shots with the IS-3. We're never going to pen that at this distance, even with our premium round. Because 148 pen on the AP is never going to go through the IS-3 unless we get the flat side, possibly. And 208 premium pen is just not dealing with the front of an IS-3 at all at the distance. But now we've got to the back end of this defender, because we saw our tanks were pushing forward. It was like, okay, let's get this guy. We've managed to track him in place, which is great. And obviously, if you track someone with something like the Comet, you've perma-tracked him because the reload is so good. That poor defender got absolutely wrecked. So we poke around the corner to see if anything's there. We fortunately just get missed by that medium tank, which is the Pantera. But we are spotting him, which is good. We're getting assistance. We poke around, get a cheeky shot in, try and get another one in, which we do, which is nice. We're up to 479 assistance with 1600 damage. And it's like, okay, Mr. Pantera, I'm coming for you, bro. He's now a two-shot, or no, he's a one-shot for us if RNG lives for us, which it does. And we managed to shut down the Pantera. There's a T-34-88 above, but I've got my friend in the Dreadnought with me, so that's good. But unfortunately, the Dreadnought still gets owned by an ISU, and poor Swindle got just trashed by that poor by that ISU. No, most tanks don't do very well in front of big 152mm guns. It just, you know, it's not a good thing. Now that T-34-88 has really good DPM. And is currently farming the living crap out of us, which is not good. But I thought I was dead. I actually thought I was a goner there, because he could just kill me with his next shot. But fortunately enough, 157, I end up high rolling, and I get to finish that guy off, which is lucky. Take it. You take everything, every little bit of luck that comes for you, right? So now we're a one-shot for everything. We're up to 2.3k damage, 821 assistance. We're fairly lucky to be alive in this game, but I kind of want to get up the side of this ISU that was in this middle. And we have actually got up to the side. Because of the bushes, he's not spotting us, which means we're just going to keep pumping these shots into his side, but he's actually running away now. My target was always the ISU, because obviously it is a big gun. Now, realistically, everything can kill me in this game, not just the ISU, but the ISU is going to kill my teammates a lot quicker than any others, so I wanted to get rid of him. Plus, if we get rid of him, we can use these positions now at E7 and around there to go farm his friends. Because he was gatekeeping this position, which meant that we couldn't do anything, really, without getting rid of him. So now we're up above. It's like, well, hello, Mr. Chrysler. I have your Anus. If I was to load standard, I'd still struggle even with his angled side because, like I say, the Chrysler K is a top-tier stomper. It's really good against bottom-tier guns or mid-tier guns like the Banshee. But when you're getting against tanks that have like 230, 240 pen, that's where its armor becomes, well, pointless. In terms of the lower plate anyway, and the side armor. But we do manage to shut down the IS-3 to end the game, and we finished with the epic victory. We finished with 5 kills, 3.4k damage, 821 assistance, decent amount of silver, ace tanker, and 1968 base XP. A really nice game for the Banshee Comet, an old favourite. It's a great solid tier 7 medium tank. You can use the mobility and the camo to your advantage and just keep poking them with this pokey gun. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!